We're holding over here v'chein bishavas hakelim bepeil. That's basically where we started. It's 10 lines from the bottom. Yeah. The line starts he. V'chein bishavas hakelim bepeil. So he said that Atzilus is ein arich to ein sof. He's speaking in regard to kelim. Since kelim are mugbal, are limited, are saying a limited expression of the Eibishter, so that's bein arich to ein sof. And the only way they could come about is by the Eibishter hiding the Ein Sof. So it means bein arich. It's the Eibishter not expressing himself. Then he goes, even in regard to their source, they come from the Rishimu, it's also no way of ein arich. He's not expressing himself, he's hiding himself. And everything that, even though there's a chayis coming from the Rishimu to create the Kalim, also comes in such a way of hiding. He doesn't reveal himself the way he is, he hides himself. Because if he would reveal, if he would see in the Kalim their source, then they wouldn't be able to be Kalim Mugbolim. They would be a part of the Keich HaGvul of the Eibishter, of the Ein Sof. In order to focus and see every individual Gvul for what it is, it has to come in an Eifin of Helen. Even though it knows it has a smoker, like we said last time, and it knows that, but to live the way it's in the market, that it can't, because then it'll be a contradiction to the whole idea of Kalim. Then we said that there's another aspect that the Eir is Sistazeh. But now there's another part. We said that Tishavas HaKelim can come only from the Rishimu, even though that the makeup of the Keli is from the Tchuna of the Keli, is the Tchuna of the Rishimu, the Tchuna of Helem, of hiding himself. But on the other hand, the order that the Helem should come out, like I said, in order to express limitation, expression is Gilui. So you have that this Havas HaKelim comes from Eir. So he says, V'chein is Havas HaKelim bepeil. Not just Shedish HaKelim, not just Nesinas Mokim Limtziyusam. In order to be able to be, there has to be Siluk HaEir. But there has to be actual revelation of Eir to make them. That's the Gilui HaKav, which comes to make Kelim. Shehu Aidei Eir is Kanal Perches Sha'eir Hu B'chinas Gilui. Eir is revelation, so it should have been revealed to the Kelim in a revealed matter. There's their connection to the source. So why is it considered a union of Ein Areich? It's connected to the source. So he says, even that which creates Keli is not revealed mamash to the Kelim. In the Isa Beitz Chaim, she's Havas HaKelim, Hu al Yidei P'giyas Eir Yosher Ve'er Chezer, Shemakim Zeh Bozeh, Sh'alidei Zeh Neiflim Mehem Eisias, Shemehem Ishavim HaKelim. So he says, that the Chaim says that the way Kelim come about is their Yosher and their Chezer hit each other, and through this falls Asias, and the Asias become Kelim. It's having Kelim. The Asias are a Mokra of Kelim, but the Asias is Gufa of the Kelim. That already mentions, he says, Mavur B'mokem Acher, the Mokem Acher, the way I think it is over here in the Samachei, it brings this whole Moshel. This is Mavur, over here it's much more length, the whole Moshel of the Shnei Chachomim that he brings over here. What's the Moshel? Vur Mokem Acher, Shazeo Adarach Moshel, Beis Sichlem Hofchim, Shal Beis Leimdim. You have two opposite opinions. Each one tries to prove their point, and they're asking on the other person. So we see what happens. It's even though that each one is contradicting the other person, but he can't make him nullified, because the other person has an opinion, and he really holds strong with his opinion. It's not that he just thought of maybe he should say so. This is Imagine Bisham and Basil. Bisham is saying you have to be Machrim. Basil is saying you have to be Mekel. He's bringing a proof. So Basil is, this is what it is. It is Lakula. Now you have a question, I'll find you an answer. Like you find a lot of places in the Game, Basil, back and forth. It's to strengthen, to bring a proof that they're right. But the question, so there you have firstly each one saying their opinion. Then you have the questions. And then they have what each one answers, Neilad Mizeh, from the questions is Neilad Mizeh, Hasogus Forachadosh Shlahoya Bedaitim Kedim. Something new which they didn't think about before. The only reason it came up is because of the question.
So it's possible that at first there's no svara at all then?
No, there's a svara, but they have a question on the whole svara. How could you say so from this and this?
Hidden?
Your question is it kol? Is it included in there? And it's not a creation? That's a good question. If it's a creation, but it's obviously not on the same level as the original understanding. Because the original understanding, even though you have, for example, it says Talmud Amachkim es Rabbi, that the question makes the teacher even smarter than he would ever think of before. He gets a deeper level. That itself also, for some reason here, he's not going there.
Sometimes I have a strong question, and the person is maybe the other person.
Yeah, that he Mechlal goes off himself. But here is
sometimes they don't want to give an answer or shtick or whatever.
That he doesn't have explanation, but he knows it's so real by him. It's beyond that saga. It's a Riyah de Chochmah. He sees it. Yeah, that's another thing. But here he's speaking in regard. There's two questions. They're questioning, but it's not that he's gonna say now. You know what? You're right. Each one holds with their opinion. But the fact that he brought in, but this question, it's like filtering. How can you say it? It's not going to fit everywhere. It's a good svara, but here it wouldn't fit. So then he has to prove his points. He's going to find a side place where he's going to bring it. The thing what we said, the Moshe we said last week is really, it's over here. It's clearly, it's not. I thought it's a Moshe Chassidus, it's a Moshe from the Mayim. Moshe, we said last time that there's some people that have a nature that every day here they want to give over. So he says over here clearly. This is you could look at it in Samachein Resh Peites. He says it clearly that they want to give over, they want to go down, they want to express to other people. That's Yosher. Then there's people that have opposite nature. That everything they know, they want to go to the source. They're going deeper and deeper. He does want to give it over. He's always looking to get. That's Chazer. So he says by a person, every person has both things. When he wants to give over something, so then their Yosha is coming out that he wants to give over right away. But after that, the Teva, the nature of Chazer, not to give, comes strengthen himself, says, why are you giving? And then if he still gives, that's the nefila of the Eisus of Chazer, which that's Shalei Be'erech of the previous Yosher. Before he was coming with a whole shturim, he's going to give, and this is it, and this is the only thing to do. Then once the Chazer came around and said, no, hold it. What are you running? Well, what's to give? What's the excitement? There's much deeper. There's more exciting things to go for. Go deeper in the yin. What do you have to go out of yourself? So then he said, no, Afal Pikein I'm going to. So then it's not going to be on the same strength like it would be originally. So that comes out. That's the idea of the nefila that he says over here. שזהו הדרך מושל בייס שיכלים הופכים של בייס לימים שמפעפלו ומקשים זה לזה נילד מזה הסוגוס פורח הדושה שלו הוי בדייתם קיידים. So from this they get a new idea which they didn't have before. והיינו שהדי הקושים אחד וזולוסי שסייסר דאלס הזולוסי ומיצס פורח הדושה לתארץ ולהמיץ פורס אקדמיס. He has to prove himself. ויש בוי די סתירס וביטל שיכליס פורוסי since the way it came about is by knocking him הרי ספורק תאנה בערך עצם הסוגוש נמשך תחילה. What's the right that it's a lower level of idea than the way he had in the beginning with Shadeh? He says, if his friend wouldn't say to him, he would just go on and on with this. This is the way to be. It's only coming to answer a question of thinking differently, which means he's relating to an opposite way of thinking. It's not the ultimate. It's not this to the fullest extent. It's, so to speak, it's the I could squeeze even according to your question. I could still have a right to say what I'm saying. So it's much weaker than the thing itself. If a person comes on his own, you say shtar shiyotzol of iru, and then you're mekayim it. So I always say the maila that shtar shiyotzol of iru mekayim it. So there's a maila that even with a iru, it's right. But on the other hand, you understand there's a iru. At the end of the day, you know what I mean? That means there's a question. It's not if it's clear cut. Everyone knows about it, like it says about the Rambam and the Ravid. It says, why was there a Ravid? And more than that, the Ravid is printed in the Rambam. Why did they print the Ravid in the Rambam? Everyone, you say the expressions, the Ravid, Zahevel, whatever, like Tzarech Loimer, whatever, where is it coming from? It's very, very harsh words. Why is it? So there's an explanation given, because the Rambam in his time was such a great light, it was too big. The Samachon didn't want it, it was too powerful. It was taking over the world. It was so clear, everything's open, everything's clear. So there had to be point, so to speak, to hold back. It shouldn't be so powerful, it shouldn't be so shining, so strong. So they put the Ravid inside the Rambam. And together, when you have the Rambam, you know there's someone that it's not. This is for sure. Everyone holds like that. There's another way to think about everything. As I stated, in order that it should be Niskab in the world, there had to be this Menagid. The same thing when they get to Chassidus. Why was there Menagdim? For the same reason, because it was too powerful. The Samach would lose his job. There had to be a Menagid, so to speak, to be be'erach. You know what I mean? It shouldn't blow away the whole symptom. Hey, so it'll be Mesa Mashiach, right? It'll be too early, so to speak. Magdim Saket. So Mila had to be, and once. So it's only if you take Chassidus, this is the thing. So then it's Shalei Berach stronger. Then it's even though I have a question, I'm going to answer it. So it's already a lower level. The same thing here. The idea of Helem Mitzad, the weights in the Rishimu, is coming. You have there's totally the ultimate idea is to come to Helem. Now that it comes, no mi Yemar. Maybe if I can't, maybe I shouldn't come reveal myself. Say, no, still you have to reveal yourself. Still there's the idea in Helem. So that's already not the ultimate way of Helem, the way it would be on the original level. So it comes in a minute way. So it's a lower way of thinking. It's not the ultimate way of his way. So that's what we spoke about the other time. When you have a small Helem, for example, Chochmeh, is it more of a Helem or less of a Helem? On one hand, you could say it's more of a Helem because it's less. It's a smaller entity. It's not so big. So. But the other hand, when you have the Helem on a higher level, it's hiding more, it's demanding more the idea of Helem. Here it's a small demand for Helem. Make Chochmeh, Chesed, every sphere of Protis. It's not the ultimate idea, it's not signing ganz in Helem, totally hiding. The Eibusha should be beyond revelation. Something like that. If without the question he would come to another understanding as an outcome of the previous learning, he could come, if this is true, then I can tell you another idea. So then the second understanding will be just as great as the first understanding. But since the second way of the second understanding that came over here is because of a question, because he negated his way of thinking, so then it's not an outcome because I hold so strongly, that's why I'm going to tell you another word. No, it's because someone's negating me, I had to explain it. So it's not the ultimate way, it's not he's bringing out his point on his level the way he would think, but rather it's on a lower level. So this is the idea. The same thing we understand Lamayl. Their Yosher and Chazer are contradiction. Their Yosher is saying we have to come out, we have to be Megal. And Chazer is saying no, don't be Megal. So that's a contradiction. That what happens? Neiflim Asius. Hupshat it falls Asius. Shizoki in the philosophy has to relate to the opposite way of thinking. So it's not it's not his point, it's not the way he really holds of the idea of revelation. Therefore, it's a limited revelation. In other words, like this, I think more tangible. In the beginning, before this stira, what happened? The air is being revealed. The way he could reveal something, the way what he has to give, and that's all not new of revelation. Now, so everything is being revealed on the level of the Rav, let's say, the way he understands it for himself. Then now he comes back to himself and says, what am I giving over? I could go sit and learn. Why should I go out? Yeah, why should I go out? Or why should I? Let me think, there's so much more to this. Why should I just focus on this, on going out? So then what happens is, he's not interested in giving. So he says, no, still you have to, there's a point in giving, and tachas hakavon, you know what I mean? So he loses the interest, he's not totally in it. He's not, it's like a big bitzim, he's bepale giving, but he's not there anymore. So the male, what is he going to give? A limited thing. He's not going to give his whole self. It's not going to be, his whole enthusiasm is not there anymore. He's giving it externally. Therefore, it's a soga ktana. Even though he's doing it, still yirida, it's still gili, but it's not gili on his ultimate way. It's not the way he would be able to give on the ultimate. It's an outcome. This is saying it's like proving a point. Still, you have to do this. Still, it's right. It's not the ultimate way of doing if you would do it on its essential way.
So that would be
so that's the case.
That would be after the tzimtzum like that then.
This is a different type of tzimtzum. This is called an nefila. it falls off the priest. It's feeding off this way of thought that the kavanah is to give, but it's not on the same powerful way as it is mitzad the etzamin of a yosher, of giving. It's on a lower, it's minute way. That's what it's called nefila. It's not really what's generally when something falls. What does it mean? It's not an extension. It's not a revelation. It's this thing coming lower, bizgal. So it's like a step down. He fell. What does it mean? Someone falls. It's not his regular going. It's not him. It's shalei berech. It doesn't belong there, and still he's doing it. Which, in other words, means that it's in other places. I think he says the lashon is stronger even. He says that there's Siluka air, the air goes away, then the kalim become kalim, which is this. He doesn't use exactly the words here, but that's what comes out of here. The Erchezer is demanding, why should we come down? Yosh says, no, we have to give, but what is going to give already? If the Erchezer, which means his essential interest is not there anymore, so what he's going to give is going to be very mitzumtzim. And that's why it becomes a metzius of asius, it becomes a metzius of kalim. Before, since it was connected with the air, before kalim, here we're saying, mizenes havakim, the whole being of kalim came to be, which means before there was no kalim b'chal. What does it mean there's no kalim? He's going to hint it later. Really, the kalim have a sheish, we said in the Rishimu, right? And we said when the kav comes into the Rishimu, the kav gets a tchune of giving, of going out of itself. That's the obvious shebe'er. But when it's in the air, it's the lashon Samachav. He says, "Hu mechuber be'er bekesher amitz." It's connected with air very strongly. V'hu b'pchinas eir adayin. It's still a level of air. That means you don't see that there is a keil which handles air. There's air is being this gala. The fact that air is being this gala, there must be asius there. There must be the tchune, the idea of going out, but it's not felt. What's felt is the air. The air is gala. That's its loshness. You can't reveal if you don't have letters. The idea of leaving yourself, that causes to be revealed. But there the letters are serving the revelation, which means they're there, but their purpose is to serve revelation. That he should reveal himself, he should express himself, which means it's lost in the revelation. It's doing more of, let's say, a person thinks, right? So when he's thinking, he doesn't feel the words. He's in the idea, but there is words there, and if he wouldn't have words, asius, he wouldn't be able to express himself. But he doesn't feel the asius. So in other words, there's the mohus of helem, the idea of hiding, which means leaving yourself, but not the metzius of helem. You don't feel it. Rather, when it comes down in dibur, that's when it starts separating. You start seeing there's asius for itself, and there's the teichen, the two separate things. That's already, so to speak, they broke off. There's the aces that could focus on aces like someone or like a tape recorder or a cotton will read it. He only sees aces. Why? Because the aces are yibif ni'atzmei. And then, even so, be able to get some air, but it's ain't a daimah to the way it is when it is part and parcel of the air itself, when it's connected to the air. So through the siluk of the air, which means their yosh and their chazer are contradicting each other, their chazer says, no, we have to leave, there's no reason to go down. So then the airs and the aces separate, and then these aces of which were in the air before was part of the air, now becomes a mitzvah of kelim for itself. It's a kelim amagala, it's kelim for itself. Not one thing with the air. See, he says it here. From this nefilin is hava kelim shezeu kemei asoga aktana shenaisa idea nefilim asogose. But the question he had to make a new idea. Shein be'erech asoga kidemes. Harei this havas hakelim me'oasis shebe'eres ein ze bebchinas kiruv ki ma sheneifel me'oasis shebehem. Shezeu bebchinas havdola v'richuk. It's false. It's not an extension. It's not in the same stage it was before. Before, like we said before, it was the mohus of Helem, but Bepeil it's Gilui. Now it became of Hakert, the way of being. Now it's Helem Bepeil. It's a metzius of Helem. It's a metzius of being Mailim. He's saying this is not something in the air that the air itself is creating. It's a Kecha Helem that's making it. It's the Helem which is in the air that's eventually later becoming the Kalim, because this obvious air is also from the Rishimu, is also Kava Helen. That's the idea of going out of himself. Er Yosher. He's going down to be Mizgal to the Makabel. So the fact that it comes in later to Kalim is, so to speak, it's transforming its form, and before it was Gilui Dikeisius, and now it's becoming Helen Dikeisius. It's proving his point, but it's not as powerful. In other words, before he was the Gever, and he was saying his point with the whole shturim, and this is the only way to be. And the Mele Er was following it. He was also being revealed together with the Kalim. But now he lost, so to speak, the Er, because the Er is say, and Kalim must prove his point, saying, no, still we have to be Mizgal. Kalim is proving his point. The Er Yosha is the